What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, Tam?
Hey there. So I'm in. I'm in the
Let's see. I'm
show.
getting, I'm getting that echo again.
You in the echo?
Yeah, getting that echo, so
That's on your phone?
it's on the other screen.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
Let me look and see if it's anybody.
What's up, Broke? I see Broke done came in. Got bias. I'm gonna hate to do this because I do not. What am I doing to turn this other volume?
Okay, I'm speaking to everyone. Okay, so can they hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
This is
I can hear you.
Tam. Okay. Hey everyone, thanks for joining.
Tam, go ahead and handle it for a little while. Just kind of handle the chat for a little while I figure out how to turn this other monitor.
Okay, so let's speak to everyone. Thank you guys for joining. Keith is trying to figure out where he's getting an echo from. So hi Keisha, official Jamil or Jemiah. Thanks for
Yeah,
joining.
I got it.
Unbiased. Okay. Brett Broke Farmer's in the house. He say, "What's up, bro?"
I got it now. Yeah.
Okay. It's all yours, bro.
All right. All right. What's up, everybody? Just doing a pop up. Um, we passed our 200,000 whoop whoop on YouTube. We got our 200 and what we at 250 on Facebook and 350 on Instagram. So we just here just giving a little thanks to you guys for the support that you've been giving us over the past 3 years that we've been doing this officially. And I can't say thank you enough. I see Mike's in here. I'm Bias in here. Crafty Leo. What's up? Keisha. Um, Michael. But again, like I said, we're just coming in doing a little pop up. I wanted to make it a little more official, but if you know anything about me and doing this live thing and trying to stay on schedule, I'm just walking in the door maybe 15 minutes ago, so I'm not prepared, but we gonna make this thing do what it do. So I just want to again say thank you to all of you all for the support that you've been doing, not only just on the social media, but on the growingoutthebox.com, because y'all been showing up over there. So with that being said, we're gonna be making some little things happen tonight. So what's up, Tam? Let's get a little bit what's going on in the chat.
Okay, so Keith, you haven't been on live in months, or weeks. So
Months.
so I gotta catch back up. My memory. So we
Yeah.
got all right, so let's see here. We
I see
got a
Mike.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of comments here. So let me kind of start at the start. Happy Friday. Keisha says happy Friday, everyone.
Yeah. We're just gonna start the whole thing off just like everybody do, just kind of speaking to everybody, letting a few people pick up on it, see if we get a few more people in here. But for the most part, we're just kind of speaking to everybody right now.
Okay, so Unbiased say, hey, King and Queen. Hi.
Up on
Crafty Leo
bias.
is Crafty Leo is in the house. Broke Farmer, Okie Roots, California Garden is in there. 200K pop up.
Yeah, 200K.
Hi,
So
Michael Robertson. He's in the house. R. Luna says, peace and blessings, everyone.
yeah, okay.
Mike's Chaotic Gardening is in the house. Thank you. Thank you to the moderators that are here too.
Yeah. And I know what I wanted to ask Mike. Mike, can you grow blueberries up there where you're at? Because I wanted to gift my moderators a couple of things while we're in here. So I wanted to know if you can do blueberries up there, or would you prefer to just go over to growingoutthebox.com and pick out maybe a fruit tree and we'll send it to you? Because you're one of the best moderators. I mean, just one of the best supporters pretty much on everybody's channel. Like I said, I've been kind of ghosting from the whole, even going into anybody else's lives lately, because I've been super busy with everything that's going on this end of the side of the channel, as far as growing out the box, shipping product out. So I'm trying to wear a whole lot of hats, baby sis down there in Florida. So she can only do so much in terms of the physical hands on everything. So I've been pretty much handling everything, all the shipping that's going out, processing the orders. I'm doing everything. So that's my apology to you guys for not showing up in the lives, everybody else's lives like I normally would, but it has been a blessing. At the same time, it is a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Hey, Veggie Farm, I see you just popped in. Kia Parks. But again, I just wanted to come on tonight. Like I say, we're not going to keep you guys too long. I want to see if we get a few more people in here, because unorganized as always. But I want to gift some things unbiased. I got your email, but I'm going to ask you to whether you like a fruit tree or blueberry bush, and I'll get that sent over to you, which I already have your information. So I'll get that to you. Between you and Mike, fruit trees or blueberry bush, whatever ones you want, you can go over to growingoutthebox.com. Matter of fact, if one of the moderators could put growingoutthebox.com up on the screen, and that way, whenever anybody want to go over and select some things from the store, and I'm going to gift it to you, just as a way of showing my appreciation for all the support that you guys have been doing. The store, like I said, it's work. It is definitely work, but I'm up for the task, and I am receiving the blessings, and I'm sharing those blessings back with you guys. So let's see who else is in the chat. Get a few more hellos. Hey, Devorah, I see you come in. Let's see who else is in the chat. Miss Tam.
Okay, so Pure Silence just popped in. Hello, welcome. Miss Kia Parks. Let's see here. Run to Grow says congratulations.
Thank you. Thank
you guys. A lot of people saying congratulations on the 200K. Cortez Lemons is in the house.
What's up, Cortez? Cortez. I'm gonna I don't mean to cut you off, Tam. My man Cortez now. Let me tell you how this is, how I met him. And this name is solid in my head because he has a name like Lemon. I'm walking across a parking lot, right? Mm-hmm. So I hear somebody yell out, "Growing out the box." I'm just walking across a parking lot. So I kind of look around, throw my hand up and keep walking. Then he, "Growing out the box." Say it again. And then I see this young man come jogging across the field, right? Jogging across the parking lot. And he was telling me, he's like, "Man, I was just sitting over here looking at some lemon trees online, trying to see how I can grow some lemon trees. And your video popped up, and then I saw you walking across the parking lot, and I was like, that's growing. That looked like growing out the box right there." So it was just a real joyful moment just to meet him and be able to exchange the conversation and people recognizing me. I mean, just out of the blue now, it's kind of like a blessing. And we got to talking, and in that conversation, he was saying, he and his wife had recently purchased a home, and he always remembered, his mother out in the garden, planting flowers or whatever. And he wanted to share that kind of experience with his kids. So I was like, okay, well, that's kind of right on time, because I got some fruit trees or some lemon trees that I had, propagated, and I'd like to gift you one. So that's definitely going to be one of the persons that'll get. I have a Meyer lemon, and that's not one that I grafted or rooted, but it's a Meyer lemon that I have that I'm going to be gifting him, and I'm going to personally give that to him. So, because we done kind of established a personal relationship. but that's my man Lemon. I always remember him by Lemon. So Lemon, Cortez Lemon. All right. So appreciate you for coming in, man. All
Oh,
right,
wow,
Tim.
that's awesome.
Yeah, just out of the blue, just somebody recognized me, and we get to talking and start talking about little heart to heart spiritual stuff that took us all the way back to his mom in the garden and him wanting to share that same experience with his kids. So, that's what I'm all about here. And that's really what, the whole growing out the box thing is about. Me going through my first phase of life and the hustle and bustle of everything, and then getting sick in 2020, slowing down, changing my perspective on how to approach moving forward. And somehow it ended me up in the garden. And here we are 3 years later, like I say, 350,000 followers on Instagram, 250,000 on Facebook. And now we've crossed that threshold of 200,000 right here on YouTube. And it's crazy because when we went to Florida last week to actually do the celebration with baby sis, we were 197. So between Thursday of last week and Friday of this week, we've picked up 11,000 subscribers. That is amazing. In 1 week, 11,000 subscribers. And this, like I said, none of this is possible without you guys. So I'm just here. Hey, Nikki, I see Nikki is in here. But none of this is possible without you guys. And not just the social media presence of it, but you guys are going beyond social media and going over to my website and supporting the website. And that is something that really moves me in a different kind of way. And like I said, I just wanted to show some appreciation for you guys to come in and say, this belongs to all of us, as I've said from day one, because I'm so appreciative of how you guys support me. So let's go back to the chat, Tam.
Pure silence say you famous.
And I'm still kind of like, I don't really even know what to do with it, to tell you the truth, because again, we're at Pike's nursery one day and a couple come over to us and, she was like, I recognize you from somewhere. So it's becoming a normal thing now. And it's like the power of the internet. So we're looking at, even though collectively between the three platforms, and I hate leaving out TikTok because we are 70,000 on TikTok, but collectively we're over 800,000 followers. That's kind of hard to kind of wrap your head around. And not only are we over 800,000 followers, we got videos that are trending in the millions. So it's not just the 800,000 that are following the channels, but those millions of people that are actually watching that may not have subscribed, obviously that haven't subscribed, because we got a video on Instagram that has 15 million views. So, it's different. It's different. And I'm used to being around, things, people, things like that, but I'm really not the person to have the spotlight on me. And which is why I really don't like the lives, because I like doing the, being able to control my environment with the editing and all of that stuff like that, being able to make sure that everything's in place, the staging, all of that stuff. It's a lot of work that I put into it, but trying to be better at everything. So the lives will come, but it's just really not my thing. So I'm going to do it whenever I can, but most of the time it's going to be to show some type of appreciation for you guys. Because like I said, without y'all, this would not be possible. So I am once again just appreciative. So
Yeah, that's awesome, Keith. Let's see. Faith Stout, she says the first time to see a live from you, but you're definitely helping me grow blueberries. My very first time. That is awesome.
Right. Yeah, and the blueberries they going, for lack of words, bananas. I mean,
Mhm.
right now off of our first 3 bushes, and some of you probably have already watched the videos, but we've gotten off of the first 3 bushes almost 35 pounds. So we're better than our average when it comes down to what we were trying to do with the blueberry bushes, are 7 to 14 or 15 pounds per bush. And my pink lemonade, I take back everything I ever said bad about the pink lemonade, because she was about to get evicted this year. I mean, but the pink lemonade, while she's not the biggest producer, let me tell you, the cross pollination, that little thing that I've been telling y'all about cross pollinating these bushes and seeing the difference of what you're going to get out of it, that pink lemonade is showing out. Matter of fact, I'm going to be taking the largest berries off of it that are almost like a wine color. They're so dark, they're like a wine color. And I'm going to take the seeds, and I'm going to just see what happens with the seeds, because that's pretty much how the new blueberry bushes come up. So what I'm going to be calling my pink lemonade, well, my version of the pink lemonade is going to be a brandy wine, because that's how dark these I wish I should have brought some in just to show you. I mean, they literally are almost red. They're so pink. So I think I want to call my version of the pink lemonade, which I'll be growing from the seeds that have cross-pollinated with my Northland. So Nikki, I think you were saying that you just got a pink lemonade. If you have a chance to get that Northland, put those 2 babies next to each other, you're going to have magic. Because I'm talking about the berries on that thing are the size. I mean, I got some of them that I put in there the size of quarters. They're that large. And it's that Northland and the pink lemonade combining, and it's got like a deep, dark, like a wine color to it, almost like a burgundy. Is so pink, but I'm loving it. Now, again, mine's going to be called brandy wine. That's what I'm still in the whole brandy wine thing, and we're taking it to the blueberries. So let's see what else we got going on in the chat, Tam.
Okay, so let's see here. Cortez, he said again, appreciate that, my brother.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's see. Lot of conversation here. I'm just trying to catch up. Let's see. If everybody can hit the likes, we got 57, 54 watching. Y'all can hit that like button. Let's see.
See the analytic gardener in there.
Yeah, she's saying congratulations.
No, analytic gardener, I don't have. I don't know what it is about the blueberries, but I guess the proprietary rights on the blueberries, people are really clingy about letting those blueberry bushes go, especially stuff like my sweetheart, which still is patent technically. So you can't. I personally couldn't sell the sweetheart, because it's still a patent on it, a trademark, I should say. And so I'm having to deal with third parties with the fruit trees and the blueberries. And I've only been able to get 3 bushes. That's the Duke, the Elliott, and the Blue Crop. And they're pretty good, but they're not the bushes that I have. So, they're on the website. If you want to get those, I do stand behind them. All the fruit trees that I have on the website, as well as growing them out. And surprisingly, I've had 2 of the bushes, or 2 of the fruit trees that I got and put in the fall have already fruited. Now, I don't think they're going to hold those fruits, but that's just a positive to me, because usually it takes 2 to 3 years when you put those trees in before you start seeing any fruit. So that 2 to 4 years, the company that I'm working with on my fruit trees, I'm very satisfied with them, and they're coming through pretty well. Like I said, the fruits are not holding, but I'm getting fruit off of these trees, and they were just put in last year. So.
Tennessee Tactical One says, I watch your videos every day, my brother. I've learned so much from you.
Thank you, Tennessee. I really appreciate that. And again, like I said, all of this is not possible without you guys. I get my inspiration. I get a lot of people saying, and kind of complimenting on my style and the way I deliver and the information that I put into the videos. But really, I have to give credit to you guys because it's the questions that you ask me that I go back and do the homework on and bring that information back to you guys. So, I mean, I can't say it enough times. I could not do it without you guys because you let me know what it is that you want to see. And the only thing I'm doing is just going and bringing you back what it is you're asking me for. So if that's any note for anybody that's in the room that's a content creator, and the question is, well, how did the channel grow as fast? Not just on YouTube now. We're talking about all social media platforms. That's, 70,000 again on TikTok, 250 on Facebook, 350 on Instagram. And now, like I say, I think we're at 207, I believe, on YouTube. I take it very personal. A lot of you in here, when you message me, I'm going to message you back. It's a lot of work that goes into it, and I call it good old-fashioned customer service. That's really been the gist behind how the channel has grown, the way that it's grown. I take 2 hours, a minimum of 2 hours out of each day to reply back to messages. Now, of course, that's very difficult to do now with all the platforms moving at the same time. So I'm kind of strategically moving one video to one platform on one day, allowing it to kind of, produce itself over there. And then I'll go and answer some questions. Then I'll upload the same video on one of the other platforms. So I can kind of focus on the upload days a little more than trying to get all the comments that are coming in, because I got a video from last year that's over 200,000 right now. So evergreen. And that's something that you guys heard me talking about early on when I started doing the videos, doing content that's going to be watched over and over again. Doesn't matter if you're a new gardener or old gardener, there's always going to be somebody coming online looking for that information. And that's how I built the whole Growing Out the Box brand. And I say the Growing Out the Box brand, evergreen. You want things that people are going to always be looking for. Yeah, you may know it. You've been gardening for 20 years, but there's always one person coming online that don't know the answer to what it is that they're searching for. And if you have evergreen material in your content, they're going to always go back to that. And there's always going to be a new person coming online that's going to watch that video. And then the algorithm picks up on it, and the algorithm takes it back to being a relevant video again. So that's what most of my content is about, just evergreen material. I try to put things out that someone new is always going to be able to use. So just a little tidbit for some of the content creators in here. We can pretend like everybody should know the simple things, but what I found in my formula in creating the followers that I've gotten over the past few years, it's far more people doing it for the first time than it is people who've been doing it for all those years. Because there's a lot of people come in and they'll go out, but every day somebody's coming online and they're going to be looking for answers to questions they have. And it's the same questions over and over. Evergreen material. That's what I'm doing over here.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So Miss J.K. Gardner says, congrats, you've earned it though. I guess that was a 200K. She wants to know, what's the next challenge, bro?
The next
you got
challenge.
Any challenges coming up?
The challenge would be to do lives. that would be my challenge, because like I said, I'm so, however organized I am in my videos, that's because I can go back and I can edit, I can move things around. But I am probably one of the most unorganized people you want to run into, because I'm a free spirit. The same way that I'm doing this little pop-up tonight. I've been talking about it since last Thursday when we went down to Florida on the beach, but not one day have I sat down and put anything in motion to be able to implement doing this live on a Friday. So I'm just walking in the door, like I say, 15 minutes before baby sis is texting me like, okay, I thought you were going live tonight. I don't even have a link. But I go with what feels right. We may be coming in here talking about, the live may be talking about a 200,000 celebration, and I'll veer off into something else. That's pretty much how my life goes. You know what I mean? I wake up every day and I take on whatever is in front of me. You know what I mean? I'm always looking forward to the next thing, and I'm trying to do 5 or 6 things at one time. And I got gear that's coming that growing out the box, you be doing too much. That's something that I heard a lot of in the beginning. Matter of fact, I still hear that. Some guys, they try to shoot a little side shot. You ain't got to do all that. You just put the plant in the ground. Well, there's a little thing that I like to reference to is most of your overachievers, they be doing too much. I mean, that's pretty much how it works. You put in that extra, that's what takes you the extra mile. If you're going to put the little in, you're going to get a little out. So I do put a lot into what I do. I think when I first started coming online, I was talking with Broke, and I was kind of one of his main cheerleaders over there, just kind of like I really like what he was doing. He was a funny guy. I liked the Southern accent that he was bringing to the table. And, everybody's style is so different. You know what I mean? So for me, I saw something in him that I felt like I could have got behind and helped promote his channel and pushed it maybe in a different direction out, because again, I come from an entertainment background. So I'm not just coming through the door to, with just a whim of how people receive or perceive what it is that you put in front of them. So from the beginning of my garden, like I said to Broke, I'm a studio gangster. I don't do lives, so that's like the old rappers. If you ever hear the rappers talk about, they get in the get in the booth and they rap about all these things, but really they ain't doing all that stuff on the outside.
Did you say studio gangster?
Yeah, I'm a studio gangster. You know what I mean? So I like to, like put things in place, put on, what I mean? It's a show. At the end of the day, it is a show. And what we as content creators have to start realizing that we are the next generation of entertainment, because like my kids, and even down there with my sister this weekend, none of these kids are watching television in the way that they used to watch television, in the way that we used to watch television. They're on the internet. They're picking and choosing who it is they want to watch, when they want to watch it. So when I came into this whole internet thing, that was my approach to it. You know what I mean? I wanted it to be a studio type thing. I wanted to learn how to do a lot of the things that I've been around my entire life. So I was able to experience the backdrop of what goes on and putting on a show, putting on live performances, the lighting, the staging, all of those things, and coming away from the entertainment side of my life and moving forward into, I guess, a more laid back version of me that taught me what I knew needed to be done in order to put a presentation out, something that is palatable for a person to want to watch, and not just popping up just to say, hey, look at my garden, hey, I got collard greens here, watch me chop down some collard greens. So for the lives, it's like, if I don't have a purpose to do a live, it really doesn't make sense to me, because that's really not what's in my DNA, because I jumped from one thing, just like I'm doing now. We're talking about a 200,000, celebration, but we've gone all the way over into just celebrating life. You know what I mean? Just taking everything one day at a time, and even going to Nikki, the OCDist chick, how I got to know her. It was a video that she did where she opened up, about, with her emotions when her mom passed. And for me, that was you can't make that kind of stuff up. You know what I mean? That was a real moment that she opened up and shared with the world. And for me personally, that locked me into her. And I've been rocking with Nikki. You know, that's everyday life of an OCDist chick. I've been rocking with her ever since. And no matter how big this thing gets, it's going to be certain individuals that always going to have a space, you know, no matter where I'm at. And Nikki is definitely going to be one of those. Even Miss Linda, I don't know if she in the bushes, you know, she might be in the bushes over here, but you know, I rock with Miss Linda too. You know, I ain't been in her lives lately because, like I said, a whole lot's been going on. But there's just certain individuals that Mike Chaotic Garden, and I respect Mike because Mike is everybody's fan. I call that my baby sis. You know, my baby sis is everybody's number one fan. It don't matter what you got going on in your life. She's going to be the one person that you know is going to be there to support you. And that's why every time you see me go live, every time you see me doing, you always hear me shouting out my baby sis because she has been that number one fan. And it's a couple of you know, others. Unbiased, you know, Unbiased just in Christmas time. That this locked me in with Unbiased. She's going to the post office, sharing things that she's put together to gift out to some of the people that's been following and supporting her. And then she gets to the post office, and for whatever reason, the packages weren't packaged correct, or and the amount that she was anticipating shipping them out on just wasn't able to do it. And just seeing the emotion in her eyes when she wasn't able to do that. And she's trying to give something back to you guys, but she was hurt because she couldn't deliver. Those are the people that I lock on to, you know, the givers. And that's really what this channel is about. You know what I mean? Just finding that connection for those people who are givers. You know, that's been who I am my entire life. And that's what I want to share with you guys. And that's what I, you know, would like reciprocated, you know. So go back down to the Hey Fresh and Fire. I see you up in here. Now she has a beautiful garden too now. Yeah, Fresh and Fire.
South Florida says, you be doing too much merch. I love it.
Hey, y'all better look out. You know I'm gonna be always. Hold up. Last time I told y'all I had my shoes too, right? Wait, broke at? I know broke in here. Y'all better stop playing with me. What they say on
Okay.
here? Georgia. I do not be playing.
Okay.
It's always going to be a head to toe. When you see the hat, there's a shirt and some shoes to match. That's just how I get out. I'm old school like that.
A lot of us are old school, bro. Let's see here.
Yeah, I can't change that. My wife won't even buy me nothing unless she can get the shoes to match.
Wow.
Oh, but that's just me in a nutshell, man. I just enjoy life, man. I just enjoy life. Yeah.
Did everybody see the other side, the not so serious side of Keith on the beach dancing? I want to know. Put some thumbs up if y'all saw that video.
Oh yeah. And that you know, like I said, we all have that other side of us. You know what I mean? My wife, she likes to travel. I'm a homebody.
Don't put some hearts. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm a homebody. I love being at home in the garden because the first part of my life I traveled a lot. So I've been everywhere. What I like to tell people, I've been everywhere, but I ain't seen nothing. You know, because the type of business that I was in, we would go to different cities, set up, tear down, set up, tear down. You in and out before you even get to see anything. And my wife is from France, and she likes to travel. Her and my son, they'll pack up in a heartbeat and just they'll jet. They'll leave me at the house, and I'm here doing what I do. And that's where my piece is, because again, the first half of my life, I've done a lot of traveling, so I'm not really the go type. You know, we'll be in Europe, probably the end of August, no, the end of July. I'm sorry, and I think I'm going to be doing like a raised bed series over in France with my in-laws. They're getting up in age, and they got like 60 acres. So we're going to be taking you guys along with us, showing you the grapes that they're growing out there. They got these huge fig trees. So it's a whole lot that we're going to be doing, just exploring. We thought baby sis was going with us, but she chickened out at the last minute. But
My pocketbook chicken out.
what's
Did you
up?
say 60 acres?
Yeah, yeah,
Six
68,
zero?
60. Yeah,
Wow, I might have to go move with her. 60 acres. That's
yeah, 60 acres. Yeah, most of it's they lease out the other half, and then half of it he grows grapes on it. It's got the big tractor. So, but I'm like I said, I'm going to be showing all of that stuff. We're going to be vlogging all the way. And Food by Faith, I'm not sure if she's still in Germany, but the wife wanted me to reach out to Food by Faith and see if we could link up while we over there, because we can do. I think if we come from Spain, I believe if we meet up in Spain, it'll be kind of halfway points. Maybe like an hour ride or by train or something like that. But I'm going to reach out to Food by Faith. Hopefully we can do like a little meetup over there. That'll be pretty cool. Yeah. Because she's in Germany, or she was in Germany. I got to find out if she's still there.
okay, cool. So we're saying good night to South Florida. She has to put the little one to bed.
All right. Thank you, Carol. I appreciate you for coming. Oh, Carol. Yeah. Uh, go over to growingoutthebox.com and pick you out a fruit tree or blueberry bush. I know you were talking. Well, I don't think the blueberry bushes will work for you because it's too hot down there where you're at. But kind of just hit me up on the email. Just let me know something in there that you may be interested in, because I want to do something for you as well. Yeah, so I appreciate you. But I know you said you had to get out of Nikki. Same thing with you. Just go over there and check it out to see if it's a blueberry bush that you like. That Duke will go well also with that pink lemonade, Nikki. So you might want to consider that, because I do have the Duke, the Elliott, and the Blue Crop on the website. So you might want to check those out. And same with you, Unbiased. Let me know, fruit tree or blueberry bush. And we're going to make sure that we take care of our moderators. I appreciate you guys.
Yes, thank you. JRGS Farms is speaking to everyone. Hello, welcome.
What's up, Jigs? Yeah,
Oh, that's
appreciate.
Jigs. I say
Yeah,
J3. Is it
no, that's
Jigs?
right. You said it right. We call him Jigs.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that's yeah. He's a blueberry man also.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got a lot of rabbit eyes. He has a lot of rabbit eyes, big bushes, big healthy bushes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if anyone is in here that needs a little assistance, we got the blueberry guide on the website, Keith.
Oh
Don't
yeah.
forget about that. That's a useful tool.
Yeah. And that blueberry guide is really just, that's really what's driving the activity over at the website. The blueberry guide is, I mean, it's really been, oh, I know. Let me see. Did I put that book? 1 second. Tammy, you could have been talking now. I could
Oh,
see it.
I'm reading. You know, I can't read and talk at the same time.
Okay.
The analytic gardener says I need to grab the guy. Yeah, go over there and check it out. Oh, and you're welcome. The everyday life of an OCD chick. She said, "Thank you, Tam, for the beautiful jewelry. If you want some more, just hit me up and I will send you something free of charge. just hit me up on my channel, Made by Tammy Sherrill.
Now this, Tammy, you want to talk about this?
Oh my goodness, yes. So I have a little Instagram grandbaby. I've known her on Instagram since she was 3 years old, and now she's 9. Her name is Nova. So she is a little author, and she just released her first book. Says Nova finds her yes. And the great thing about it, it is an awesome book. It has a great message for children and adults. It's about never settling for no. Just keep going, keep trying, because one day you'll get your yes. And she is an absolute she's just such a smart, talented little girl. So she's on Instagram. Her name is Nova Valentina. She just got a big movie deal, and she's been doing a lot of things since 3 years old. So just supporting her book, and we're going to be giving away that book as well.
So any
So
of you guys who your grandbabies, or for some of the younger mothers in here that may want something like this, it's real good. So y'all already know we got something like this coming from Growing Out the Box. We're gonna do some stuff very similar to this, some cartoonish like stuff for maybe some kids. I was working with my son, somebody he knows has a 7-year-old, and man, he just really impressed me with how much he wants to do in the garden. So I was over there setting up a little garden for him. I can't show any, of course, because he's 7 years old, so I didn't want to do any of the videos and make it all about that. But I really wish I could have. But 7 years old, and this little guy, I mean, he's amazing, and that's what really drew my attention to Nova when she was doing this book thing, because I mean, it's amazing to even imagine that like little kids actually watch gardening. Is Who would imagine? This little dude, I mean, I go over to the house and he's looking at me like, Mama, I can't believe he's here. It's like, I'm just me. So I mean, little stuff. This is what I live for. You know what I mean? For these kids, and to be able to see them inspired by something that I mean, come on now. You can't ask for much more than that. Here it is, a little 7-year-old kid who wants to be a gardener. 7 years old, what do you know about gardening? But he's got his little tomato plants going over there. We set him up a couple of little raised beds his mom, got from the store. So I went over and set those up. But that's really what this whole thing is about. You know what I mean? Just reaching in areas that you never would have imagined being able to reach to. And that's just a blessing for me, and being able to share that part of me. That don't cost you anything. You know what I mean? If you're within my reach and I can get to you and we can share something that's going to move us forward in terms of just some positive energy going, just like my man Cortez in here, Cortez Lemon. When people, young men, especially young men, because they don't see a lot of us doing these things. And some people look at, gardening as a female thing, so to speak. But when young men, and I'm talking about hood dudes, dreads, the grills and all, they starting to embrace this whole thing about getting out into the yard and planting some stuff. This thing is really way bigger than I would have even imagined. But that's part of what I've always done my entire life. I'm always looking for the thing that don't make sense. You know what I mean? Like, everybody don't have to understand. And it's something that Steve Harvey said a while back that's always stuck with me since I heard it. And he was like, well, if you tell people your dream and they can see it, that means you're not dreaming big enough. So every time I do something, I try to do something just a little different. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily that I can explain what it is I'm doing, or even sometimes I don't even know where I'm going with it, but I know I'm going to do something that's a little different, and it always lands in a different place, and blessings fall behind it. It's like that old saying would say, "You know them by their works." And one of my favorite things is just quoting the 23:5. It's like my cup runneth over, and for me, that's always being able to share something, because God always provides a way for me. Even if I empty my pockets out, there's always going to be something in there to make the ends meet to get to the next day, because God has always got me. I got everybody else. So that's my appreciation for everything that everybody does when we're in this garden community, and just in life in general. You know what I mean? Just appreciation for all of you guys.
Absolutely.
Hey, Nick, I was going to try to see if anybody could do a spin wheel. Maybe we can give somebody in the chat something.
So, did you want me to give you some suggestions that you gave me earlier?
Sure. Sure.
So, what about your nets, growing out the box merch, or seeds,
Okay. So I got
or
so
the
much.
the Vigo planter?
Yep, I got a Vigo garden planter, a tomato planter.
Those are nice too. You have to add the wheel to your live growing out the box.
Yeah, I'm gonna add the wheel. Let me show y'all something though, because growing out the box, you be doing too much. This is what my seeds are gonna be going out in. These are my seed packs. So for everybody who's been asking me, and I had one of them already set up around here. I don't know exactly where I put it at.
Somebody's name is Soil Sister. I like that.
Oh
Hey,
yeah,
Soil
oh,
Sister.
she's been rocking with me for a long time too. I appreciate you coming in. But what I'm doing is, these are these peel packs, right? These little portable peel packs. I was trying to figure out where I can get something to package all my seeds up without having to do the labor of sending out like one pack of seed for $6. So what I have here is a pack that holds 14 seeds. So that's what we're going to be sending out. Each seed has a separate compartment here.
That's cool.
Now, if we can get past these tariffs, we're going to have growing out the box on these things. But this is basically what it is. You can get 14 seeds in here. And that would be my black cherry tomatoes. That's the one everybody's been asking for. My old-timey blue collards. That's another seed that not a lot of people have. My Japanese hashiko onions. Just pretty much everything that I'm growing. Oh, Mike's Chaotic Gardening for hooking me up with the candy roaster. So I got plenty of those seeds. The Georgia Candy Roaster, got the plants growing outside now. But it's 14 seeds that go in here. I thought this was pretty cool. And I had been searching and searching for something to be able to put seeds in. Look at that. Ain't that magic?
That's creative.
That's pretty cool. These are peel packs. I thought this was pretty cool. Then I even went a step further. I got the clear printer paper. So each compartment will have the labels where you can see through it and the seeds on there, and that'll be printed onto the compartments. So it'll tell you what the seed is in each compartment. I thought that was pretty cool.
Awesome. Yeah, that's cool.
And you got different colors. So I got like 6 different colors. But yeah, this kind of stuff that I do all the time. It's like growing out the box, you be doing too much. Why you can't just put it in a piece of paper bag like everybody else? Because that's just not what I do. You know, I always got to do just a little bit more than, but I like that. Something that you can store your seeds in. They're not going to fall out. It's pretty secure. But that's pretty cool.
That would be a good giveaway, Keith.
Yeah, yeah. This was, like I said, I was going to give away some seeds, and this will be a pack full of seeds. Everything that I'm growing in my garden, and everything in my garden, I've grown organically. I use no synthetics, and you guys have been watching me for a while, so you already know that. But this is pretty cool, and this is, like I said, they're seed. They're peel packs. Travel peel packs is what they are. And I'm giving y'all the gold right here. So if you want to go and look up how to get travel peel packs, I'm sure anybody can Google these, or you probably have some sitting on your nightstand. But this is what I'm going to be using to send my seeds out in. I think that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Baya says she can help you with the name on the boxes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So she said she got connections.
She got no unbiased. Hey, unbiased got that magic happening over there. Yeah.
Miracle writer for you. Say great idea.
Yeah. So that was the biggest holdup that I had. Because for me, everything is about presentation. Everything is about presentation. And I would rather not do it at all if I can't make it presentable. So even like my blueberry bush nettings, you know, the 3 zippers, getting caught up in the tariffs and all. So it's like, even when there's a roadblock, there's still a better, you know. So I had, I think, close to 300 of the 1 zippers that I was basically going to be doing something else with but because I couldn't get the other stuff in the country because of all this tariffs, I couldn't afford it to pretty much make it that simple. But the blueberry nettings that's on growingoutthebox.com, I didn't know that many people grew blueberries. So that alone, that's my best seller of everything in there. That's the netting with the zipper for the blueberry bushes that I was using last year. My 3 zippers sold out within 2 weeks, and not going to say I haven't been able to order anymore, but it just doesn't make sense for me to order right now because everything's twice the amount of what it was when I initially had them done. And having them shipped over here now is going to be an issue. So I just say, you know what? We're going to sit on this thing and we'll wait till maybe when the temperature die down on this political thing we got going on right now, and then I'll get them in later. And next year, for all of you who haven't gotten the 1 zipper from me, the 3 zippers will hopefully be available then. But up until now, I'm not even going to attempt to bring the 3 zippers in. And they already packaged up. They're already ready to go. They're being stored in a warehouse over in China. But I can't afford to bring them in. So they're just sitting. So that's money out of my pocket that's just sitting. So, but, you know, that's part of the cost of doing business, you know, not a complaint. It's just something that makes you be a little more creative, which led me to the 1 zipper. And the 1 zipper actually has been selling really good, along with everything else on growingoutthebox.com. So we got a few raised beds over there. Those are available. I can't do the Amazon shipping. So if you order from me, it ain't going to get there the next day. So it's going to be a couple of days, might be a week, but you're going to get it. You know what I mean? I had one fruit tree that didn't come out of dormancy. No problem. We shipped her a new fruit tree. So if you're going to get nothing, it might not be the expedited shipping, but you're going to get the best customer service ever if you buy anything from growingoutthebox.com. And I stand behind everything on there. It's not like you don't see me doing affiliate marketing. That was something that I was staunch about from the beginning. No affiliate marketing, because once again, as content creators, we have to start realizing our value. That's my biggest thing, is just being able to get everyone in here that's doing any type of content where these companies talking about sending you something free to go out and advertise, then when your channel blows up, they still have that agreement that you've made with them a year prior when you weren't as large as you were, and now they're able to use that same advertisement to promote their product, and you see nothing. That just don't make sense to me. I'd rather be broke and crawling than crawling. It just don't make sense to me. So that's what the whole growingoutthebox.com was all about. It was about leveraging the celebrity of what we're creating here on social media. And that's something that I can talk about all day long, because it's something that Baby Sis and I, we brainstorm back and forth about different strategies that we're going to do in terms of dealing with these marketing companies that are always emailing you. You get 100 emails in your box a day talking about they're going to give you free stuff, and then just click on the link and then sign up to the affiliate program, and then they give you this little 3, 4, 5, 6%. No, we ain't doing it like that. We ain't doing it like that. But you got to create that. And that's what we're doing with growingoutthebox.com. We're creating our own marketing tool, our own marketing brand. And that's what we're doing over here. If you see anything, any company over there, that's all, it's going to be like Walmart. You know, Walmart has different vendors, different products. That's what I want growingoutthebox.com. And matter of fact, when we were down in Florida last week, Tam and I, we were sitting down and powwowing on how to convert Growing Out the Box over into like an Amazon type setup, to where we bring people like Unbiased, who has her own store, and Unbiased is able to set up on growingoutthebox.com and use that as a means of selling her product. That's where I'm at right now. I'm talking about taking this whole thing to a whole nother level, not just seeing what it is that I've seen and duplicating what somebody else has done, but that means experimenting on some things that I haven't seen and trying some things that may not even exist. Whether or not they work or not, we won't know until we do it, but I'm not afraid to try, because that's what that whole thing is. When we get the gear, doing too much. Sometimes you got to do too much. Let's see who else.
Doing too much, Keith.
Sometimes you got to do too much. You know what I mean? Because that's the only way you're going to know that threshold of where you're going to fall at. You know what I mean? If we're always looking at what everybody else is doing, and that's going to be our level of understanding of how far we can go, then we'll never get to that next level, because you got to compete with yourself. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm competing with myself. Everybody else here on social media, I love what y'all are doing. I respect what you're doing. But every day I do something, I'm competing with myself. I want to be better than I was the day before. And that's personally as well as business, spiritually, mentally, physically. Everything I'm doing every day, I want to be better than I was the day before. So if I can bring that to the table and share that with some of these, some of you guys who are trying to do something different and really don't know what different looks like, you gotta look beyond that you've seen and use your imagination. Just like I say, peel packs. I mean, we just look at, oh, well, that's peel pack. I got some of those on my, but you don't know, that could be your $1 million product. Who would ever thought the blueberries, the blueberry bush, the blueberry netting would be, I mean, it's been carrying it's the number one seller on my website. I mean, I can't keep them in fast. It's like the 300 that they go just like that. But I had so many of them stocked up before all of this terrorist mess. If I would have had the 3 zippers, that could have been it. I don't know. That could have been it, the 3 zippers, because that's the one everybody wants, but they settling for the 1 zipper. But it's really just about using your imagination to see things that maybe other people don't see, and the simplicity in those things that you are doing, and don't underestimate them simply because they are simple. That's why some people will take, I get a comment like, well, everybody knows that. Okay, well, Why has the video got 2-3 million views if everybody knows it? Simplicity. Keep it simple sometimes. Yes, growing out the box be doing too much, but I also understand that there's always someone that's coming in that's new to what it is that we're going to introduce them to. That's who I'm focused on. Those are the people who are receptive to what it is that you're sending out. And that's where you're going to get your most growth from. Out of your channel, that's where your growth is going to come from. If you're trying to patronize everybody on here who has a channel and who's trying to do the same thing that you're trying to do, you're going to be stagnant. My interest is not in what everybody else is doing. My interest is in doing what I haven't done, and that's doing too much. Yeah. So let's see what else we got going on in the chat.
Okay, so let's say hey to some people. Shanny 2003.
Hey,
She's in here. Hello.
hey,
Mrs. Red, say hello to everyone. Hi, Mrs. Red, welcome. Marie S. Hello. She says, I think that you think outside the box.
oh yeah, that's really what it is. Think growing out the box is. It really is growing out the box. It's not necessarily those planners that you see me out, because it's multifold, the whole principle behind it. But my son and I, we were sitting there talking one day, and it was like thinking out the box. That's really where the whole growing out the box came from. It's that little square that you tend to put yourself in that keeps you confined to a certain parameter. But what happens when you put yourself on the outside of that? Here you get a lot of friction. There's going to be a lot of misunderstanding, but sometimes you have to be outside that box in order to be able to get to that level of where you need to be to. Because if you're only doing the things that everybody inside the box is doing, then you're going to expect no more than that. And like I say, that's just been my approach to life, being this young kid, 17-year-old, traveling from Tampa, Florida to Atlanta, Georgia, to be a part of this big old music industry, to end up working for some of the largest names in the entertainment industry. Not because somebody told me that this is what I was supposed to do, because I just believed in something other than what I believed in. And that was something that my imagination took me to. And just following through on it. I mean, again, the website, social media, never in a million years. I hate being in front of the camera. I hate being in front of the camera. So I mean, I can't say it enough times. I literally hate being in front of the camera. But I started doing this thing during the whole little 2020 episode when my daughter was doing her little Instagram reels. My son was doing the music in the studio, and everybody was kind of confined to the house. And I went out and bought these lights and cameras and all of this stuff. And then as 2020 kind of faded to the background, nobody wanted to do anything anymore. So I was like, okay, so I got all of this stuff here. What am I going to do with it? So I started using it. Using the lights, the cameras, and trying to show my kids this whole thing. The whole internet thing was really a challenge to my kids, to show them what stick-to-itiveness is and how you accomplish things in life. And it was a challenge to my daughter, who at the time had 10,000 followers, and I didn't even have a YouTube channel or social media account. And she basically told me I didn't know what I was talking about. Go figure. You got 10,000 followers now. You got all the answers as to how you gonna do this thing. So that was the challenge to me, to show her that if you would listen and just pay a little attention, follow a little direction, I could help you get to the next level. But even as my child, you can be cut off. And I can show you that I can do the same thing that you can do. And now here we are, like I said, social media, 800,000 strong in just a few years, So it's part of the journey. You know what I mean? Like I say, unwritten pages, and it's still being written every day, unwritten pages. So again, I appreciate you guys just being here. What's going on in the chat, Tam?
Okay, so 2460 Joel. Hi, he says, greetings from Jacksonville, Florida. Okay.
J. Bill.
Just subscribed a few weeks ago. Did your tip with the eggshells, and he gave you 2 thumbs up
Okay.
on that.
I remember now those eggshells also are when you put those in, you got to remember that they're alkaline. So don't put too much in because you'll raise the pH of your soil because it has a liming effect. So that's something you want to keep in mind. You can use a little bit of it to add that calcium in, but it does have a liming effect. So it will raise the pH of your soil. Actually, I use it to raise the pH whenever I'm doing my garlic and stuff like that. I'll mix it in with the garlic to help keep that pH around that 6.8. So just keep that in mind when you're using the powdered eggshells. It has a liming effect. Matter of fact, it has a better effect of raising the pH than actually lime does. So just keep that in mind.
Okay, that's good to know. Y'all don't go nowhere. We're gonna spin the wheel, right, Keith, for the giveaways. But I
Yeah.
wanted to do some more shout outs first. Let's see. Corey says, I love the website. It's very easy to navigate to.
Thank you. Thank you. Yep.
So
Simple.
Marie S, shout out to you, your channel, Dig for Health.
Okay.
Let's see, Spontaneous Garden More. Welcome, hello. Growing with Hudson, saying
Hey,
hello, growing out the box.
on with Hudson. She's been rocking with me for a minute too.
Devora Bat Zion. I'm sorry if I'm jacking up y'all names, but Cassandra South Fulton Garden, hello.
Sanders been rocking with me for a while.
Fresh and Fire Backyard Living. Hey fam.
Fresh and Fire. Yep. Now
Okay.
she has a beautiful garden too. I love the way her setup is. As a matter of fact, I'm working on a project right now. I call it my squash cage. And the way that you had those, I think they were insulated tubing pads on your greenhouse. I stole that. So I ain't gonna tell you no lie, I stole that. So you probably gonna be seeing that in one of my future videos. I have this squash cage that I have. It's a 10x6 cage that I'm growing my squash into. And like I told you guys, we're gonna whoop that squash vine borer. So we got a whole thing going on out there that I haven't even showed you guys yet. And it's gonna be pretty nice, and it's inexpensive too. It looks like it might cost you a little penny, but when you think about, I'll be able to use this cage also for winter growing, maybe even using like some collards or something in there during the winter time, and I can also put a tarp over it, a plastic, and use it as a makeshift greenhouse as well. But I'll be showing you that, guys, and probably in the next week or so. I still got a few other things to do, setting the raised beds up in it. But it's a little squash cage. It's a 6x10 square foot cage that I'm growing my squash in this year. Because like I said, we are not going to keep fighting that squash vine borer. So let's go back to the chat.
A grapefruit, juicy fruit, low. I'm laughing at the name, grapefruit, juicy fruit. Low country of South Carolina in the house. I love my blueberry zip up covers I bought from you last year.
All right, all right. Like I said, we just shipped out a whole slew of them today, and I'm sure it's going to start slowing down because I had one person from California ordered. I think she ordered 7 of them, and she was like, "When can you get these here to me? Because the birds are just eating up all my berries." And I'm like, "You might be in trouble, because
Oh, no.
by the time I send this out of here, but I did I did something. I don't know. I did not a next day, but a 2-day shipping for her. So hopefully she'll be getting those by Saturday and won't lose as many berries. But what's crazy on the blueberries? there's I don't know if any of y'all are familiar with the northern mockingbird, the northern mockingbird. That's, we used to call them catbirds. They dive down at the cats. Whenever they're walking by, you'll see them chasing crows and stuff like that. But there's a family of them that moved into the garden, and they made a nest into my lemon tree, which has these big thorns on it. So they're very well protected in there. We have a cat, so the cat can't get to them. But what I have discovered is they are very territorial. And by them being very territorial, I have not had the need to cover my blueberries this year. I'm getting all those berries off and I have not covered them. Yeah. And it's because that bird is running all the other birds that try to get the blueberries off. They can have some if they're going to work with me.
Really?
So
That's something.
yeah. And I've been trying to record them running the birds off, but there are literally no birds in my garden. They have taken control. It's a little family of them, and I just let them eat the blueberries as they will, because they can't eat enough. It's only the mom, the dad, and the two chicks now that's in the nest. But northern mockingbird, I thought that was really special how that was working. So this year, I have not had to put my blueberry nets on. No problem. And getting, like I said, out of my first 3 bushes, a little over 10 pounds, and I still got, I know, at least another 5 pounds per bush. So I'm going to be getting out of the bushes that I planted last year close to 20 pounds, I want to say. That's crazy. But that goes to show that planting medium that I put together, it really works. Northern mockingbirds. That's
Wow.
crazy. Yeah.
That's
So
wild.
what I would like to do is figure out how to bring them into the garden. You know what I mean? So next spring, leave the nest where it is and see if I can figure out the natural way to bring them back to nest in that same nest again. But northern mockingbirds, very territorial. I mean, it's just crazy that no birds come in that garden. They run them off soon as that, and they protect that whole little area out there. So that is amazing.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
So we got Jeff Hidalgo from New Hampshire in the house. He says, "Love your garden."
Thank you. Hey, I see Shawnee Groves in here. Happy Friday.
Shanny 2003 says, "How long does it take the fruit trees to fruit?"
I put all of my plum trees in last year, and I got fruit off of one of them this year. The other ones flowered, but they didn't produce. They produced the little buds, or the little fruit, but they didn't really go past that. And one of them I'm actually getting fruit off of. They're dropping, but I'm getting fruit. So I'm gonna say next year I think I'll do pretty well with them, because normally when they start producing that first year, they're gonna drop their fruit anyway. So I'm gonna say probably in the second year, safely to say in the second year. The vendor that I get them from said that they are possibly will fruit the first year. So technically, this is my first year with them, because I put them in the fall of last year. So they haven't even gone through a whole year, and I'm already getting fruit from them. Now, like I said, that's not fruit that's going to stay on the plant, and that's something that you could expect anywhere. When your bushes first start producing, or your trees start producing, they're going to drop fruit within that first year. That's just letting them know it's kind of like going through their adolescence, going to teenage years, and then the following year you should see something. I believe I'm going to see a pretty good harvest on it next year, because I know I probably got 30, 40 fruit just dropping, and I pick them up and just keep them out just to keep the insects down. But yeah, it's definitely fruit out there. Second year, I would say. Second year. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So Okie Roots California Garden says, "Wow, the blueberry netting is really innovative. The walking crop cover."
Yeah. Walk-in crop cover, and the 3 zippers is magic. I mean, the 3 zippers almost feel like it's unfair to even put them on, because if I were to show those 3 zippers again, I'll probably piss some people off. Because the first thing they're gonna say, I thought you didn't have any more of those. And so, but luckily this year, like I said, I haven't had to put them out. But the 3 zippers is just so much easier. I mean, you can go to either side. You never have to spin them with the 1 zipper. You got to kind of spin it a little bit, which is what made me come up with the whole concept of the 3 zippers. Now, there's a cage that also goes with the 3 zippers, and I was working on that throughout the course of the year, where we can bring in the whole thing that goes with those round beds. Because if you look on growingoutthebox.com, I have those 48 by 12-inch tall raised beds on growingoutthebox.com now, which houses your blueberries. And there's a cage system also that goes with that, and that's what those nettings go over, the 3 zippers. So the 3 zippers are built a little different than the 1 zipper. The 1 zippers is what I invested in the first year, and then I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. Maybe if I added 2 more zippers and a top to it, that it'll be. And yeah, that's the 3 zippers is going to be crazy. Now, like I said, the whole thing is just how soon can I get them? And we won't know that until this crap that's going on politically gets settled down. And because it messed me up this year. But like I said, you guys still showed up. You did what I had to do, which was, okay, I don't have what I want, but I'm going to get what I need. And the ultimate goal is to protect those berries. So I know they work. So thank you.
Yeah, the everyday life of OCD chick, she say plant those birds their own blueberry bush.
No. The reason why you don't want to, because they don't know which bush is theirs or yours, but somebody else said that give them a bush on this. They don't know which bush to pick from. So what you're doing is you're basically training the birds to come and eat your fruit. I don't even know who came up with that idea about give them a bush and then they only gonna bother that bush. That may work somebody else's yard, but the year that man, I was hurt last year or the year before I started doing the nettings. Man, I watched those jokers walk off with my stuff. It was like they were strong arming me. It's like, what? You better not say nothing. They was coming in and it was all the birds just coming in, just one after another, just taking the berries. And I lost half of what I was growing last year, or the year before last, I should say, because last year I had my nettings. But no, I wouldn't. That whole plant a berry bush, I don't know about that. I just don't think it just don't make sense to me, because the birds don't know which bush it is that they supposed to be. So what you're doing is you're training them to eat your berries. So what happens when that bush is stripped down? They're gonna come and eat your berries. You're not gonna be able to stop them at that point. So no, that's not a good idea to me, dude. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so hello from Mexico, Joe Serrano. Congratulations on reaching 200K. So cool about the northern mockingbirds, working hand in hand with them.
Yeah, that's like I said, I've been trying to record it, because that to me is like, man, that's God's gift right there. You know what I mean? It's like when I see stuff like that, that amazes me, and it just sparks just things that make my brain go to work. And like even with what Nikki was saying, OCD is chick, by planting, a bush for them. Well, maybe if I can plant a bush that bring that family back and they can make babies again next year, that makes more sense to me. So now, by experimenting and experiencing what this does, having those mockingbirds protect the garden, which I knew that the hummingbirds did that. I knew that the hummingbird did it, but for some reason I'm not seeing the hummingbird this year as I was, because it's unseasonably cold here, well, cool here in Georgia right now. We're 70, 73, 74 degrees today. This is Georgia weather is just all crazy. So of course the hummingbirds migrate with the temperatures. So I'm not seeing the hummingbirds this year. But my thing right now would be how to figure out how to get the northern mockingbird back to that bush next year. That's what I would be focused on right now. It's like, is something that I can do? And I know the answer is somewhere out there. Is there something that they like in particular that can get them back to that same nest? Pretty much like a hummingbird, because a hummingbird will remember every place that they've landed, every fruit tree that they've ate off of. They'll come back to that same bush every year. So if there's anything like that with that northern mockingbird, I'm hoping to be able to duplicate that again, and then I could share that with you guys, and then maybe we wouldn't even need the nettings, you know. So the bush, like I said, it's just an amazing. For me, like I said, just watching that, it just sparks my imagination to where I start thinking like, how can I put that in a bottle and serve that so everybody can see what it is that I see. And that's what the garden does to me, you know, just creates that imagination. So when I'm doing stuff like even with my fava beans, my nephew was over last week and I was telling him that, you know, to come over and harvest some blueberries. And I was telling him about the benefits of the fava bean. And I learned the fava beans from David Core with the crops. But what I didn't know about the fava bean was the medicinal values of it. And I was telling nephew about it. And just so happens his girlfriend's dad is suffering from the, what is it? The, not muscular dystrophy, Parkinson's disease. And in doing my homework with the fava beans, the tips of the fava bean, the legume of it, you can eat that, and it has a precursor to dopamine in it, which helps people with Parkinson's disease. That to me is like, that's why I garden. You know what I mean? It's not so much as to grow the food, but to understand why I'm growing the food. That excites me more than anything. And then just being able to share that information with him and seeing his I mean, if you could have just seen the way he lit up when I said that, he was like, Parkinson's disease. So you saying this helps with I said, yeah, it's levodopa. Levodopa is one of the medications that they use to treat Parkinson's disease, and it helps stabilize that nervous shake that they have and makes their day a little better. And then he called me and say, can I come over and get some of that, the trees that you were telling? He didn't know exactly how to ask for it, but I was like, you're more than welcome. So those are where my blessings come from, you know, and not just growing the food. And that's why when I'm talking to certain people and they'll be like, well, how much food you grow? For me, it's not really about growing how much food I can grow. I just enjoy the journey of learning what the plants do, learning how to grow my own fertilizers, learning how to create the cover crops. I'm learning how to grow. I can grow anything out there in that backyard. I can grow anything. I'm confident I can grow anything, but I like figuring out how to grow it. That's more important to me than the fruit, because if you can grow it, you can always eat. So that was just to me a blessing, and another one of those things that when I asked, you know, for God to show me like my purpose, because that's what I've kind of grown to see this whole gardening journey as a purpose. You know, it took for me to get sick in order for me to start trying to grow things that made me better when I was sick, and then being able to share that experience with somebody else. And in that, I have found my purpose, you know? So it's a conglomeration of everything that I've done my entire life, and being able to share certain things with certain people, and always being a giver. And in being a giver, you're always sometimes perceived as someone that can be taken advantage of. But I always tell people, you can't take advantage of people who are giving from the heart. You can use up your blessings, but you can't use that person. And things like understanding what that plant does for someone with Parkinson's disease, and then my nephew coming over and saying someone that was close to him was dealing with that, and he would like to introduce it to them. That to me is that's God speaking to me, saying, you are serving your purpose. You know, you are serving your purpose. You are walking in your spirit. This is your path. So that's why I grow. I don't say I'm a gardener. I'm a grower. That's what I do. I grow. I can grow anything. I'm confident in that. So
That is so true, bro. So A Hinton says, just found your channel and I am grateful that you share your wisdom. I'm starting my very first garden ever, and I'm kind of overwhelmed. Me too.
yeah,
So what
but
you
and I love to tell people it's like start small. When we started our garden over here at the time, 2020, my wife and my son were the ones that put the first two beds together, and it was something that they saw Grow Family Network. Um, he built these little blocks that you get out of Lowe's and put the little wood slats in between them. Those were our first two beds, and they're still out there to this day because they represent the beginning. Start small, grow what it is that you and your family like to eat, and simple things like tomatoes, peppers. Even if you have to go and buy them from the big box store, and I hear a lot of people, well, you spending all of, well, yeah, you're spending a little extra money, but it's the experience that goes along with it that you're not going to be able to offset with a dollar amount. You know what I mean? It's that dollar amount that you're spending, and you find that thing that gives back to you and fulfills something inside of you that makes you want to grow more. Then $9 for a plant is a small price to pay. That's the way I look at it. You know what I mean? Everybody don't see it that way. Well, why are you buying that from the big box store? Well, if I wouldn't have bought it from the big box store, I wouldn't have understood how much I enjoy growing and what it adds, not just to my life, but to my family's life, because my whole family is involved with the garden now, and it goes all the way back, I say again, to 2020 when I got sick, and my wife and my son were doing my job in digging the first two beds because I was too weak to do it myself, you know. And me as a DIY guy, me as the manly man, and I don't hire people in to do things to watch my wife and my son do
Mhm.
what it is that I'm supposed to be doing. That's that was something different for me. That was something different for me. But it seemed like I had to go through that in order to get here, which is I'm saying one of the best places I've been in my life. I feel good. I'll be approaching 60. I'm on no medication. Hey,
Praise
I'm blessed.
God.
I am
Yes,
blessed.
yes, you are.
Yes. And a lot of that comes from being out there in that garden. You know what I mean? Not just what I'm eating, but mentally, mentally, just being out there and freeing yourself and releasing a lot of that toxic energy that's around you when you get out there in that garden, and something like watching the birds eat your fruit. And I'm talking about that mockingbird again, eat your fruit, but you're seeing the gift in what just happened. That's how I view life. You know, you take it as it comes and you make it up as you go. That's what I do. Yeah,
Take it as it comes and make it up as you go. I like that.
that's right.
We got a couple of questions, Keith. Let's see. The YouTuber wants to know: will a pine, spruce, fir mulch mix work in replacement of pine bark nuggets?
No,
Can't find any pine bark nuggets in my location. Appreciate your content.
no, it will not. And I wish, and it's so sad because I've seen pine bark mini nuggets on Amazon. Ridiculous, ridiculous. You can buy pine bark mini nuggets here in Georgia. Of course, I got pine trees outside. I even have a mulch scraper that I can cut down a pine tree and I can go and get my own pine bark mulch. But pine bark mini nuggets here in Georgia cost you $3-4 at best. And I'm seeing people sell this stuff on Amazon for $40 a bag. That's ridiculous. But if I were able to sell it, I would. And what I'm doing now is I'm researching how to get a shipper's license for plants, and because you got insects and all that stuff. So there's a lot of regulations that you have to deal with when you start talking about shipping live plants or shipping mulches and things of that nature. And that's probably why you're not able to find the mini pine bark nuggets or the pine bark nuggets mulch in your area, because there's probably a plant or a specific tree in your area that maybe some pests that are connected with the pine bark nuggets may have an effect on that particular plant. So those are things that you have to really be mindful of. But no, it won't. The lignins in the pine bark nugget, that's the key to it. And again, that's that thing where I say I like to grow. I like to understand why things do what it do. You got a cellulose, which is in the regular mulch, and then you got a lignin that's in the pine bark nuggets. The lignin takes longer to break down, whereas the regular mulch like oak or anything like that is going to break down faster, which will take away from not only the acidity that the pine bark nuggets bring to the table, but the nitrogen that's in your soil. So if you mix in that spruce that you're talking about, the microbes in the soil that are needed to break down your organic fertilizer, which is that cottonseed meal, they're going to go and start breaking down that cellulose, as opposed to feeding your plants and breaking it down and making those nutrients available to your plants. So that's the thing that you have to keep in mind. The mini pine bark nuggets are lignins, and the regular nuggets are cellulose, so they break down different. Because the lignins break down slower, it takes longer. And if you're offsetting it by putting the nitrogen, which is the cottonseed meal, back into the soil, it kind of balances itself back off. That's the beautiful part about how that whole 50% peat moss, 25% mini pine bark nuggets, and 25% compost works. It's offsetting the negatives with a positive. So you got a negative charge in the microbes trying to break down the mini pine bark nuggets, but you putting that cottonseed meal back in, and it offsets it, so it balances it back out, so your plants don't suffer from it. Plus the mini pine bark nuggets, as they break down, they're adding that acidity to the soil, which the spruce won't do. Yeah.
Okay, thanks for that.
Yeah.
A. Hinton wants, let's see. A. Hinton says, I ordered a bee house to get pollinators. If you have used one, can you share any lessons learned?
No, but I would love to have bees. One thing that I do know that my onions are flowering right now, and I let my onions pretty much the Japanese hashiko onions. They get probably 4 feet tall. Bees, that's the one thing I do not have a limit on. I got so many bees out of my garden right now. They're on those Japanese hashiko. I don't know if they do it on all onions like that, but the bees are swarming all over these onions. So no, I don't. I would love to have a beehive one day for the honey, because I use honey pretty much every day. Jigs, if he's still in here, he's the man with the bees and the honey. But that's definitely something that I'd be willing to invest in the future. Maybe down the road is getting some beehives. But I got bees around here like crazy. And that's one of the reasons why the blueberry bush is so important. The blueberry bush is one of the first uh, flowers to bloom coming into spring, because that first sight of any type of temperature warm up, your early ripening blueberries are going to be the first thing to flower. And the bees, as they start waking up from their hibernation, that's the first thing they're going to get to. So that's how you get those pollinators in early, and then stuff like the marigolds and the nasturtiums, some of your wildflower blends. When you put that in, that's one of the things I used to love about watching Nikki's channel. She was real good about doing the flowers and stuff. But this, my particular thing is the Japanese Hashiko onions. Bees everywhere, everywhere. That's every day. And they mind their business. They out there just doing their thing, and I let those onions just take over. Most of my garden beds out there are full of the Japanese Hashiko onions. Yeah. So no, I don't know anything about growing beehives or anything like that. Not a thing. Yeah.
Okay, so Keith, let's see. Here's a couple comments. Tramula says, I'm planting blue and pink lemonade blueberries in a few weeks. Keith's advice has given courage to grow new vegetables and fruits. Keep the information coming.
All right. All
That's
right.
encouraging to hear.
Yeah. And with that pink lemonade, like I was telling you guys earlier, the pink lemonade was about to get evicted. I mean, it was, in terms of production, it's always been the least amount to fill the bowl. I may get 5 pounds out of my pink lemonade. Excuse me. But this year, she showed up in a way. I mean, she put on some lipstick and one of them little lace front wigs, and she's shining out there right now. So I'm like, babe.
No, you didn't.
Yes, she did. She put that lace front wig on and some lipstick, and I'm out there hanging out with her like, hey, we need to talk, because I know what I said before, but I changed all that. She is, in terms of the sweetness, oh man, that is by far the sweetest bush that I have. And that's this is just the third year with the pink lemonade. Now, what has happened is the pink lemonade cross-pollinated with the Northland. The Northland is a very large berry. And the results of that, and I'm going to try something, which not sure how it works, but this is what being a grower is about. I'm going to take my largest, darkest berries, and I'm going to take the seeds from those, because these don't even look like pink lemonade anymore. I'm calling them brandy wine. That's really what I'm going to call the bush that grows out of these seeds. I'm going to call them brandy wine. It's going to be growing out the box in brandy wine. It's going to be my version of the pink lemonade, because the seeds are not going to be of the Northland, and they're not going to be of the pink lemonade. So it's going to be somewhere in between. So maybe I may have a whole nother blueberry bush, that would serve that purpose with the larger berries. And I'm talking about, what did my son say they tasted like? But he was literally like, they taste like candy. I said brandy wine because I don't drink, so I don't really know what wine tastes like. But if I drink, this is what brandy wine would taste like. This is what those, because the sun hits the berries and it gives them like this little fermented type sweetness to it. When that sugar hits them and the Brix level go to the neck. Northland. Put the Northland next to that pink lemonade. You're not going to go wrong with that. This is something that I'm doing. It's done. And she can write the check. I'm going to pay the bills. I'm going to pay all the bills, because she ain't going nowhere. She's a keeper. Yeah, she's a keeper.
Mhm. Well, on that note, Keith, we're going on 2 hours, so I think were you still going to give the giveaways and spin
Yeah,
the
how are we gonna
wheel?
do that? Because I love to give somebody with something.
Okay, so whoever I want, someone gave instructions on how to do it. They said you have to pull up another browser. Can somebody? I'm not sure who that was. I believe that was one of the moderators. Can you repost the directions? Because I don't see your comment anymore.
Or if somebody wants to come up and do it for them, we can do it.
Yeah, I believe one of the moderators.
I
So,
know Unbiased knows how to do it. I don't know if she's still in here.
yeah, she may be the one that gave the. She's in here.
Unbiased, you want to come up? Or
She's a StreamYard giveaway tool in a browser. Oh yeah, she's here. So yeah.
would you want to come up, Unbiased, and do the wheel for us so we can give away a few things for the few people that are still here?
She say drop
Like,
the link.
okay, that's what's up.
Let's do it. And you guys, if you guys can hit that like button, please. Just a reminder. Good
Hey, what's up, Angela? I see Angela done popped in. What's up, Angela Calloway?
evening.
And Corey, thanks, Corey, for the congratulations.
Yeah.
I think I did it right. Unbiased. There we go. All right. There she go.
Hey,
Whoa.
congratulations,
Hey,
King, on your
beautiful.
200 plus K thousand people.
100K. There it is. What you doing out this late?
I'm at the grocery store, but I just wanted to come up and kind of walk you through how to pull it up from your computer
Okay.
because the moderators can't do it without being a managing moderator.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so if you go to and open up a new browser, hey Queen Tam, I'm sorry Queen, I'm just up here rambling. Um,
Hey.
if you go to a new browser and type in StreamYard giveaway tool, open that up and then let me know when you get there.
So you can't. So you couldn't pull it up on your. Let's say if you were on your desktop or whatever, you couldn't do that
If
without.
I
She's
was a
out.
if we were managing moderators, yes, but we are just standard, which you need to keep us as standard. Keep us as standard. But a managing moderator. So if you want Tam to be a managing moderator, she would be able to handle all of that for you.
Okay. Okay. All
I
And I
right.
think
can
I'm a managing moderator, but I need some training.
Yeah.
oh, okay.
We
I
may
can
have to do it. We may have to do it at another time. Say gardening today. Congrats. Thanks. Thanks. Yeah, we may have to do that another time because I don't want to be sitting there looking crazy trying to figure this out.
okay. So do you want to do the pick the numbers? Like if you have a number in your head from 100 to 200, somebody pick that number, they can win.
We could do that.
Um,
Yeah.
you could do that, or you can even do like ask a question, and then whoever is the first person that answers
Yeah.
could
See
get,
that?
So
Yeah. That's why you the queen. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
You the queen. You see what I'm
There
saying?
is strength in numbers for
Yeah.
sure.
I don't
so
do this
I
live. So,
okay, and I'll go back to the chat and congratulations again, King. You are doing your thing. Keep doing what
thank
you're
you.
doing. Keep teaching us because I have learned a lot as well. You already know when I leave a comment, I leave a comment. I let you know. Thank
That's
you.
right.
This is. I'm
I
doing
appreciate it. And I'm going to reach out to you too. I'm biased on the getting the
the labels.
names on. There you
Okay.
go. Yeah.
And I just want you to know that I started doing the styrofoam cup method.
Okay.
And
All
so
right.
keep doing it. I'm telling you, people may not say nothing, but they watching.
No, I know they are. It's 200,000 in here. Huh?
Amen. Amen. So I
All right.
fell back down. Congratulations to all the winners, but I will be in the chat.
All right. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you. Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe ask a question about maybe something that you've done in a previous video. Maybe regarding blueberries, since you are the blueberry king.
You know what? I'm gonna say here's a question. How many we got in here? 67. Okay.
Okay, so what we're giving away first? What you giving
Uh
away first? So I can write it down. Keep a track.
what you got on what do you have on your list?
Blueberry bush, a
Okay.
Vigo planter,
Let's do the blueberry bush first.
blueberry bush.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's gonna be either or. It's either a Duke, blueberry bush, um, the Elliott blueberry bush, or blue crop. And these are all northern high bushes. So if you're further down south, like Florida, some parts of Texas, there probably won't be the best for you, but everybody else, this would be a good option. Um, what's a good question? And this is
Okay.
for the
So
winner. Winner is going to get the blueberry bush sent to him. I'll just have to get your information, then we'll send you. Actually, it'll be 2 blueberry bushes that'll come with it, and they're going to be in 1-gallon containers. So let's see what's a good question. Okay, let me ask this. The first person, and this is going to be easy for somebody who's been following the channel. What was the first video of mine that went viral? Okay, now this is going to see who's been watching the channel. And I'm going to give you a hint. We've been talking about it tonight in the chat. And it's something that I have in my store. What was the first video that I did that went viral? What was it about?
first video that went viral.
Yep.
What year? Do you know?
It don't matter what year. It's my first video that went viral. I'm giving them the clue. We talked about it. It's in my store. Whatever it was, it has to do with something that's in my store. But it was the first video that I ever did that went viral. That's what started this whole thing. It was the first video, and it's got over, between all social media, probably close to 30 million views. But on YouTube, well, I'm gonna let somebody else figure that out and see if we can come up with that. Somebody got it. Now
Is it
let's
a
see.
full length video, King?
Uh, I just seen somebody said. Let me make
Oh,
sure.
okay. I don't know the answer, so you have to look at the
I
answer.
know the answer. I see. It's the time for me says it, but now who is anybody before them that said that same answer?
Okay, so let's see. You
Yep.
said time
I'm
for me,
looking at
said
gardening is great. Gardening is great. Should be on it now. Gardening is great. Got the answer. Somebody else. Okay, so now I go up. What is it? Dr. So. It's the netting, the blueberry bush netting. That's the answer.
Okay, so who got the first answer?
I'm looking at somebody said 3 zippers, but that's pretty much the same answer. It's netting. It could be 3 zippers. So anybody above that?
Dr. Sav Talks Money. Is that the one that you
That's the
see?
top one so far.
Dr. Sav, okay.
So anything above that, anything that has to do with the blueberry bush netting. And I think Dr. Sev has that.
Yoo-hoo. You got a bell or something to ring?
Okay, so my moderators put Dr. Sev, just kind of give her a little shout out in there. I think unless somebody has that answer before now, let me know if anybody has the answer. The answer is my first viral video was the blueberry bush netting. It was talking about covering your blueberry bushes with the nets. That was my first viral video, and that's what started this whole social media climb.
Was it the 3-zipper? It was the 3-zipper?
It was the 3-zipper was on the covers, which on the blueberry bush. It wasn't about the 3-zippers, but it was the netting. So if she said 3-zippers, that is the netting.
Yeah, Dr. Seth Talks Money is the winner.
Yeah. Okay. So Dr. Sev, email me. My email's in my description, but it's inquiry@growingoutthebox.com. If one of the moderators could put that into the chat,
I'll put it in there.
and then we'll get you either, like I said, either 3 of the blueberry bushes. So you can go over to growingoutthebox.com and pick out either of those blueberry bushes that we have over there, and we'll get that sent out to you. Okay, let's see if we can go down to the bottom of the chat now, and let's see if we can do another one.
Okay. You gonna do another blueberry bush?
Let's see. If you want another blueberry bush, everybody put a 1 in the chat if y'all want to do another blueberry bush. Put a 1 in the chat if you want to do a blueberry bush. And let's see if anybody's interested in doing a blueberry bush.
Soul Sister, yeah, Angela, yeah, they're putting 1s. So
okay, so we'll do another blueberry bush. Mike, like I said, Mike, you message me, Mike, and we'll get you one of them too, because they're northern high bushes, so you should be able to grow them. Even if you have to bring them inside, you should be able to grow them, because they're good all the way down to zone 4. So you should be good. And like I said, you could either do that or a fruit tree, Mike. You too, Nikki. So whichever one you want to do, a fruit tree or blueberry bush, the same thing. I don't know if Unbiased is still in here. You too, Unbiased, if you want to do a fruit tree or a blueberry bush. So what's another good question, Tam?
to do something easy.
Okay. That was an easy one. You just got to be watching the channel to know it.
But some people may not have been around that long, but I get it. Let me see. I don't know. That's going to have to come from your brain.
But think about it. For somebody to know what that first video was, that means they've been around that long. They deserve whatever it is they got.
Yeah, that's true.
That means they've been rocking with me for a minute. Let's see.
I know what's a good one. So you just did a recent video of harvesting blueberry. How many pounds did you harvest on that video? On the blueberries.
Okay, that's a good one.
Because I want some of them blueberries. You need to send me a pound. That was a good one.
But I think I did an average. I don't know if I did an exact number.
Oh, that or either weighing. I think you did the weight. Yeah, you did do pounds. Because you poured them out the bowl into the.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, the most recent one that you did.
But there was 2 weights now. Okay, let's see. We got the numbers coming in. Let's see. We scroll back up.
Yeah, the total pounds. The total. So.
Somebody says 17. We got Cheryl says 50. Nope. 36. The analytic gardener says 36. Angela Calloway says 15.
Can you text me the number, Keith? Is it like something you could send me? Because I think I remember, but I want to look.
Girl, you finna make me go all the way back into the
Oh no, don't do that then.
Yeah.
Cause I would have to. I think I remember, but
15. We got
okay, so you want me to just haul out the numbers and you let me know which ones, because it's moving kind of fast. 9.
Well, we're talking about for the bowl now. So you talking about for the bowl?
No, we're talking about the total that you harvest that day. Remember, you had them in
Oh,
bags.
okay. Oh, okay. There you go.
Remember, and
I
you
got
was
you
like, yeah, and
now. I
you
got
said you were
you
going to
now.
give some to your nephew.
I got
Okay.
you now. So let me go back. Yeah, go up and call the numbers out because I already see who got that answer.
Okay, so let's see here. 50, 17. Just stop me when I get to the number because I'm starting from the top.
Okay.
36.
Call out the person name and
Okay.
then the number.
Okay. Cheryl Norris says 50.
Nope.
Mike's Chaotic Garden 17. The
Nope.
Analytic Gardener 36. Angela Calloway 15.
Angela
Com-
Calloway, 15.
15. Okay.
15.
So
And then I
so
see
she went
Carmen right
there.
behind him said 15.
Yeah, Carmen Zama still says 15.
Yeah, Angela Calloway. Angela Calloway been rocking with me anyway. You cheating, Angela. You've been watching too many of my videos. And I appreciate you. So we're gonna email me. And matter of fact, Angela, don't you have blueberry bushes already? I think you got a blueberry bush from me, didn't you? But either way around, we gonna make sure you straight. Let's see who else in here. We got cash flow in there talking about 14. Yeah. Gardening today. Who else say 15?
15. Soul Sister said 15.
Okay. So we gonna
Let's see.
do Angela Calloway is the first 15. Okay, let's do another one.
Okay, so yeah, that one goes to Angela.
Now we're gonna step this one up now. Vigo Garden. I have these Vigo Garden planters. Now we're
Oh,
gonna this
mhm.
should be an easy one. This should be an easy one. What is it that I was growing in that Vigo garden? Now, this is the winner is going to get a Vigo garden planter. So we got what? Are you writing this down, Tammy? The winners?
This one is easy because I remember that one.
Okay, so
I know what you're about to say.
okay,
Go
so
ahead.
what was it that I was growing in the Vigo garden planter? And the winner is going to be the first person with that answer to tell me what is it that I was growing in that Vigo garden planter will get that garden planter.
Okay, so Soul Sister got that. She
Oh,
hit
they was
that on the
already on
money.
that.
She say
Hold up now.
tomato.
Wait a minute. Where is it at, Sam?
So
Oh
it's
yeah. Yeah, she was on point.
yeah, she was
So,
even I knew
so
that.
sister, you
So
cheated. Y'all cheating. Y'all ain't supposed to know this stuff that meant. Now, Veggie Farm, you hit that queen of the night. Now that wasn't that tomato. That was the what was that?
you talking about the black the little black purple little
That was the second thing I grew in it.
I
Yeah,
thought it was
the first thing.
tomatoes.
Yeah, tomatoes.
Oh, okay.
The black ones were black pearl peppers.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that was
That was
after
the
the tomato season was over, and then I put the
yes,
black pearls in it. So the answer was tomatoes.
yes. Because
So
that video went viral on Instagram. I mean, I think it got like 10 million,
that
20
video
million views.
got
Yes.
23 million on
23 million views. It was crazy.
3 million views on Instagram.
Yeah.
So that's Angela Calloway, right?
Soul Sister.
No, Soil Sister. I'm
Soul
sorry.
Sister, yes.
Okay, so you're writing these down, right?
Yep, I'm writing down.
Okay, all right. So we want to do another one. Put a 1 up in the chat if we want to do another one.
Do you have another Vigo planter? Because those are nice.
Yeah, they're really nice. We got to
Those
make
are
a
nice.
hard answer because y'all cheating, man. Y'all watching too many of my videos. So
Yeah, let's do
we got
another
to come
Vigo
up with a
planter.
hard one. So we're gonna do another. We're gonna do it if y'all. Yeah, okay. I see they want to do another Vigo garden planter. So let's see. Give me a good question now.
Okay, so Let me see.
I'm trying to think
Hold
of
on.
one myself. Okay, fourth prize, Vigo. Okay, thanks. Keep a track of that, Nikki, too. So I make sure I got a reference to cross with Tam to make sure we get everybody correct. I know one. How about we give a blueberry bush to the person who comes up with the question for the Vigo garden planner? We give a blueberry bush to the person who comes up with the best question for the next Vigo garden planner.
Okay, and they cannot participate in that question.
Right, they can't participate in it, but they'll get a blueberry bush. Actually, it'll be two blueberry bushes. So everybody who we're sending the blueberry bushes to are going to get two blueberry bushes.
Oh, everybody gonna get two? Okay.
You know, there's a set, so they come.
Okay. Okay, that's nice.
So let's see if somebody can come up with a good question for the person to win the next Vigo garden planner.
Okay, so let me read these questions. Let's see. Soil Sister says, "What are the fertilizer you use for your onions?" Okay, so you want me to read all the questions first, and then you
Yeah,
determine?
until I get to one that makes sense, because I've never said the fertilizer I use for my onions.
Okay, so Angela is asking, or she's proposing best soil mixture for growing blueberries. That's a good one.
Oh,
Best soil mixture. Have you went over that in the video?
yes, that's
A good
gonna be
one.
if y'all don't know that, y'all ain't been watching my videos, because I say this and almost we're gonna use that one, Angela. Now, Angela, does that give you two sets of blueberry bushes? I think that does.
Well, you want to see, because they're putting some good questions in here.
Okay,
You
yeah,
want to see
let's see
okay.
what some other ones are.
Okay, what is your favorite fertilizer for your blueberry bushes? That's one.
Okay.
What did you use to build your blueberry raised beds? What did you use to build your blueberry raised beds? Which blueberry bush ripened first? Which blueberries bush ripened first?
That's the one right there. Who said that?
Okay, so I forgot to say the names. Carmen Zamastel. Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing your last name, but
Okay,
yeah, that's to say that. So she won blueberry bushes. Are you gonna go with that one?
Carmen, okay, yeah. How do I control fungus? No, that's okay. I don't see the Carmen question.
Let's see, Carmen. Let me see. Do you want me to pin it or something? Let's see. I forget I can pin it. I think. Let's see. I'm looking at from two different devices. Let's see. What was the question? Which blueberries bush ripened first? Is that what I said?
Okay, I got it. I see it.
What's the question, Keith? I want to see if I can pin it.
There it is. Oh, you want to see if you can do it?
Yeah, let me see if I can do it, because I've never done it before.
Okay.
You showing out. I see you pinned it.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
so let me
And I forgot.
let
And
me
you know
see.
what? We've been doing all this all night. I forgot I could do that.
Okay, it's not letting me pin it.
Okay, so I'll put it back up.
Okay.
So there is the question right there. The first person, I'm gonna scroll down to the bottom. So Carmen gets blueberry bushes now. So all right. So keeping like that. So what is the first bush that ripens in my garden?
So so the person who answers this gets the Vigo planter.
Right.
Okay. Which blueberries bush ripen first?
And then read off the names and the answers that they're giving. So I
Okay.
see.
Okay, let's see. Which blueberry? Okay, so
there's a question on the screen. Which blueberry bush ripens first? That's my blueberry bushes. And I said this in many videos. So if you've been
okay.
watching my content, you know which one of my blueberry bushes ripens first.
Okay, Mrs. Red said the northern.
Nope.
Cheryl Norris says northern.
Nope.
Let's see. It's the Y for me says hello, darling.
There it is.
Oh, you love the hello, darling. Oh, yeah, you love hello, darling, don't you?
Hello,
Hello,
dog.
darling. Uh-huh.
So where is that
So,
at?
so it's the Y for me.
It's the Y for me.
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's see if I can find that.
So it's almost to the bottom. It's like,
Let's see. David Corey got it. I see Cash Flow got it.
yeah, cash flow got it. The analytic garden says sweetheart.
I still don't see
It's the Y for me. It's about 5 comments above cash flow. It's the Y, the letter Y for me. There it is.
did I have it?
Yeah, that's it. You just had it. You just removed it. There you go.
Yeah. Okay. There she go. It's the Y for me. So you get the Vigo Garden Planner. So we've given away 2 Vigo Garden Planners, and that's those things that you'll see on my on the garden porch, on the garden house, on the porch. That's those self-watering planners from Vigo Garden. Let's see what else we have here to give away. Some seeds.
Keith, is the shipping going to be free?
They don't have to worry about anything. They just
Okay,
get their
awesome.
information and they get whatever it is we say we're going to send them, it's going to arrive.
Okay.
Like I said, this is just our way of saying thank you and giving back some of what you guys have given us. So we really appreciate that.
That's awesome.
Okay, let's scroll down to the bottom. So Nikki and Tam, are y'all keeping up with who's getting what? Because I do not know.
Yeah, I'm writing it down. We can compare. Yeah,
What's up,
I'm
David
writing
Corey?
it down.
Oh, I got one. Let me think of what I'm going to give away now. But I have one. And it's something that I just mentioned in this chat. And David Corey, you can't answer this now. Because David Corey, you can't answer this. All right.
What type of seeds, Keith, are you giving away? Or it's just a mixture?
Let's do another blueberry. Let's say, would y'all want to do another blueberry bush? Or seeds? Put a 1 up if you want to do blueberry bush. 2 if you want to do seeds. Let's see. And like I said, the blueberry bushes come in pairs, so it's going to be 2 blueberry bushes.
Okay, most are saying 1. Mike said 2, but most is saying 1. And let me just shout out to Annabis777. Say peace and blessings, King. Thank you for giving us this knowledge.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's my pleasure. Like I said, it wouldn't be possible without you guys.
Tough Love Indigo says depend on what kind of seeds.
If I tell y'all what seeds it, I already know what y'all gonna say. Because y'all been trying to get these seeds from me for probably the last 2 years. I have. I'm gonna just tell you what the seeds are now that I have on hand. My dark opal basil, my hashiko onions. This is everything that's growing in my garden that I think is worth putting back out. It's a organically grown crops. The seeds were grown in my garden. This is not something that I get from somebody else. I'm gonna just say one thing, and I bet people change. Black cherry tomato. That's been the one thing, and we're not talking about the black cherry tomato you get from Home Depot or Lowe's. We're talking, and I like to say heirloom. People be tripping when I say heirloom because they be like, there's no H on that. Heirloom. I like saying it that way. The seeds have the heirloom black cherry tomato in it. It has the Queen of the Night tomato in it. I said the Heshiko onion. See, I've got that packed somewhere around here, but let's just do the elephant garlic. Okay. The elephant garlic won't fit in those little seed packs, but that would be cool. Some elephant garlic. The elephant garlic is not ready to harvest yet. It's I still probably got about another month maybe, because it's been seasonably cool too. So I don't even know if the garlic harvest is going to be what it used to be. Let's just do the blueberry and keep it simple.
The blueberry bush.
Yeah, we're gonna do another blueberry bush.
Okay, Keith, and also unbiased. She left a comment. She's saying she's asking, do one more, and I will make something customized for the winner. You pick the question. I'm driving, so she wanted
Okay.
to donate something
All right.
too. So
All right. Thank you, unbiased. And I'm definitely going to get with you about the labels for the growing out the box thing for the packs, the seed packs. I'm gonna go back and David Corey, you don't qualify for this because I know David Corey, you don't qualify. Or maybe okay, there's a compound in the fava bean that helps stabilize that nervous shake when it comes down to Parkinson's disease. There's a compound in the fava bean that helps stabilize that nervous shake, that you get when you're eating the fava beans. What is that compound that I mentioned earlier in this live? I mentioned that compound that actually helps people who have Parkinson's disease if they're eating fava beans. There's a compound that the fava bean gives off. Now, I don't know if y'all were listening. So this gonna tell who was listening.
unbiased, and unbiased just submitted. She said dopamine. Dopamine. Is it dopamine or dopamine?
Dopamine. It's that's not the compound. That's the compound that feeds into the dopamine. There's a compound that's a precursor to the dopamine.
Fresh and Fire Backyard Living says levodopa.
Levodopa. She's right.
Levodopa. Yeah. So
Levodopa.
Fresh and Fire Backyard Living got that one.
Levodopa. Yeah. You were right. Dopamine, unbiased, but it was the compound that leads you to the dopamine, and that's levodopa. So if anybody that's dealing with Parkinson's disease, that's something that they will be familiar with. The levodopa is a precursor to the dopamine, not the actual dopamine. So you were technically right, unbiased, but not technically right. It's a precursor to dopamine. So that's what the levodopa is. Thank you, Fresh and Fire, for listening and watching the video.
So so they want a blueberry bush.
You know what? She got that beautiful garden over there. Would you like the blueberry bush, Fresh and Fire, or would you like a planter? The Vigo garden planter. I already know what you're gonna say. She has a beautiful garden. So I'm gonna throw down to the bottom of the chat and see what she say.
Okay, she haven't responded yet.
Did you know what that one was, David Cora, with the crops? Did you know that about the fava beans? Because
She
actually,
said she wanted that blueberry bush.
okay, well, you made me wrong then, because I thought you was gonna pick that planter. I got the blueberry bush. So like I said, you can go over to the fava beans that you introduced me to. They produce a compound in the heads of the leaves called levodopa. The levodopa is a precursor to dopamine, which helps in the just stabilize that nervous shake when people have Parkinson's disease. Now, I've heard also that this helps with Alzheimer's and a couple of other things, but I don't have the proof, or I haven't been able to find any studies that can back that up. But definitely, let me see if I can put pressure. Yeah, she wants the blueberry bush. But I haven't been able to find any studies on the Alzheimer's. But the levodopa, being the precursor to dopamine, the tips of the fava bean, the little tips of it, you break those off and you can eat them as a salad or whatever like that. But it has levodopa in it. That's the compound in that, and that's a very useful tool to have very useful to have in your toolbox if you know somebody who's dealing with Parkinson's disease. Like I said, I've heard Alzheimer's also, but I haven't been able to kind of, verify that.
So Keith, you said the tip. So was the tip part of the answer? Because actually someone, Aliki Mondragon said the tip, but I didn't know that was part of the.
Was actually levodopa because I asked specifically for the compound.
Oh, so the tip wouldn't be the answer?
No.
The
tip is where that compound is most prevalent. If you eat the tip of the plant, then that's where that levodopa is.
Oh, okay.
So that's something that, like I said, anybody who's growing out the box, growing out the box. Anybody who's growing out of their box, and they know anybody who's having, to deal with Parkinson's disease, this is something that will be useful to you. And this is not something that I'm just making up. This is actually scientific evidence. If you know anybody who's dealing with this, the medication that they take has that levodopa in it, and that's that precursor to the dopamine that helps them stabilize that nervous shake they get. It does a lot more for the neurological things that particular disease does to you, but that I'm hearing that works very well for that. So one of those things that I'd like to say, just in trying to grow. So we ain't gonna hold y'all up in here much longer. We appreciate y'all for coming in and me sharing to you guys what you all share with me. And again, none of this is possible. And you didn't answer me, David. Did you know that? I want to know if you knew that about the fava bean, because I got, for anybody who don't know, I've always mentioned David Corey with the crops whenever I mention the fava beans, because he was the first person that I personally saw growing the fava beans. I'm sure I've seen somebody grow them before, but it just wasn't on my radar until I saw him growing it. And I have them out in the garden now. And one of the best cover crops you can have. It's a bioaccumulator of nitrogen. You can do a chop and drop, literally take clay soils. It'll make your soil more fertile simply by growing this particular legume. It's a legume, which is a bean, but it's it just does so many things. If you are not growing a fava bean and you're having problems with getting your soil up to standard the way you got real good fertile soil, this is something that produces lots of biomass. You basically chop and drop it, lay it on the ground. As it decays and decomposes, it puts those nutrients back into the soil, and your next season and season after will get better and better with that soil simply by growing fava beans in it. So it does a number of things, but for the most part, like I say, for me, the most important part was that levodopa in it. When I discovered it does that, that just made more sense to me in growing it. So, all right, well, we're gonna get out of here, and thank you guys again for helping us celebrate our 200,000 on YouTube. I'm gonna get with Tam, get that information, and then we're gonna start sending everybody to. And anybody who wants to just back up, make sure that we got their information. inquiry@growingoutthebox.com. That's my email. So hit me up on inquiry@growingoutthebox.com to make sure that we got you all situated and we can get you shipped out as soon as possible. So with that in mind, we're going to say, trying to think of how my wife says it, à la prochaine. And that means goodbye, have a good day. That's in French. À la
Thank
prochaine.
you, guys.
Thank you all for
Thank
coming.
you, neighbors.